And we're back once again, my friend Ann Hayes, aka Mama G, co-creator, as I always say, along with the prime creator of Fiercely Fulfilled Feminine, where I help star seeds, excuse me, twin flames who are star seeds to heal sexual trauma, reclaim their power, and experience true fulfillment through what I call the sacred sexuality reclamation method. Now, today I would like to speak about the importance of healing your inner masculine, what that means, what that looks like, and why that is so important. Well, first of all, if you understand the role of, let's call it the divine masculine energy, then you already know as a twin flame that that energy is there in its divine function to support, to provide for, to keep safe, to defend, to just be there as a nurturing father, to protect at all at all costs. They're feminine. The masculine is like the container. It's that solid foundation that allows the divine feminine to be able to step back into receptivity, tapping into flow and the intuition, and just trusting that she or he is safe. And that exists within you. It is a consciousness. It is an energy. Everything is consciousness. Now, if you want, you can connect that to your inner child. Everybody has both masculine and feminine energies. It does not matter what your gender is. Now, again, regardless of your gender, you are going to express a predominant energy. That's what has created polarity and duality. More so polarity. You want to be able to exhibit a certain degree of polarity, especially in your connections with others, especially with your divine counterpart, because if there's no polarity whatsoever, it's balanced, it's calm, it's peaceful, it's serenity. That's great. Yet, in order to keep the fun and the romance, because come on, we all want a little romance, there's got to be a little bit of polarity, and that's why you're going to have one counterpart with a predominant energy and the other with another predominant energy, one with the predominant feminine energy, and the other with the predominant masculine energy. And those can be a little bit more fluid, especially as one ascends and evolves. At least that's my observation. I feel like you're kind of tapping into a little bit more of those energies in a more balanced, harmonized way, yet still having that dominant expression of a specific energy. Okay, so why again? It makes sense, right? If you, for example, especially are a divine feminine on this flame path, you know that you have a fear of abandonment. You know that you want to feel safe. You want to feel safe when you show up with your divine masculine. You want to feel supported. Like I said, you want to feel like they're going to protect you at all costs so that you can soften. And the softening begins in your body. It doesn't start up here. Oh, I'm going to embody more of my divine femininity. I'm going to soften into flow and become a goddess and a queen. And by the way, goddess trumps queen. That's queen is an archetype. Goddess, high priestess trumps all of it. So you don't talk your way into it. Guess what? There's a reason why I focus on sacred sexuality. There's a reason why I practice what I do every day, working and learning to create and to build and to manipulate Kundalini energy, again, which is sexual energy, Shakti energy. And yet, if you don't feel like, for me, I realized, okay, I it's up to me to come back to me and learn to build that inner sense of safety. And so there's specific tools and techniques that I have been divinely given to actually go in and target both the feminine energy and the masculine energy. I don't mean target as far as accessing the and bringing it back into divine function and then harmonizing these polarities. So we can throw in the father wound and the mother wound, the individual, collective father and mother wounds. It's all connected. It's all related. Inner child, sexual energy, trauma, polarities, inner masculine, inner feminine. It is all intricately connected. And so having a level of awareness of how, in fact, it is all connected really supports and benefits your personal transformation and your spiritual ascension. So again, the inner masculine, that's you as a child that necessarily didn't speak up when you wanted to because maybe you were afraid of the conflict that might arise. Maybe you had caregivers who were always yelling and screaming and it was scary to you and they did not model to you the ability to speak up and to feel comfortable doing so and to communicate effectively and lovingly. You weren't modeled that. And so that's part of healing the inner masculine is learning to do that. And you will, as you start to heal it, and it is connected to the sexual energy, it's all connected back to the sexual energy. Yeah, we get right in there. You will start to find that you have men and women who present as having predominantly masculine energy. It's all about attributes and characteristics that will start to show up in your life, giving you the opportunity, once you've healed that aspect of your inner child or your super soldier or your inner teen or younger version of yourself, where you get to practice speaking up, speaking in your authentic voice, supporting yourself, keeping yourself safe, establishing healthy, firm boundaries in whatever way that looks. You see, the throat chakra is masculine energy. Now, every chakra has both masculine and feminine energies. However, the dominant energy typically in the throat is masculine. So you can see how healing your inner masculine support your ability to speak your truth, to speak authentically, to speak up, to defend yourself in a loving way. Like I know for me recently, I was working with a mechanic and there was a little situation, okay? And he wanted me to lie about something. I said, no, I'm not going to lie. This is what happened. I don't have insurance. I'm just basically, it was like, whatever happens, I will deal with it. I will not lie. And basically, this gentleman said, okay. And that's it, taken care of. And I'm telling you that this situation is all unfolding beautifully. You will also have an opportunity where you'll start to look at others in your life, men and those presenting with predominantly masculine energy, where you get to appreciate them, where you learn to focus on all the beautiful ways that they are supporting you, that they are showing up for you, that they are helping you to feel safe, that they are essentially providing for you in all the different ways that they can. So you start to get to focus on that, and your mind starts to shift from, oh God, I wish they could do this, I wish they could do that, to wait a minute. And then when you start to feel safe with the others in your life, whether it's siblings or parents or family or just people on the street, different people you're interacting with, you start to prepare your body to show up with more confidence. You start to soften into more of your divine feminine flow. I mean, there's a dark feminine too. Let's start with the light feminine. Let's just start with becoming softer and more receptive. You see, softening comes through love. We evolve best through love. Fear is the contraction. Energy is not flowing when there is fear, when there is contraction. So a big part of what I do is I get in there and I use the breath. I'm real big on the breath, on intention, chanting, sacred sound, and sacred movement, along with visualization to help you to get in there and start to melt any frozen energy, particularly in the area of your womb and your pelvic region. You know, whatever gender you are, that pelvic region. And that's when you start to see things change. Because once you heal that inner masculine, the softness starts to show up, the sensuality, the confidence, trusting in yourself, like a ramped up intuition, expressing innately more of who you are. And so you're expressing yourself because it's just authentically who you are versus seeking validation. Big difference. You're no longer looking for approval. You're looking for alignment. You become more appreciative. You become more grateful. You become more confident, more authentic, like I already said. You start to recognize, you start to deepen your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your body. You deepen your relationship with God. You deepen your relationship with others. And that's only going to deepen your connection with your divine counterpart. Now, you do not have to be in physical reunion in order to feel a deepening in that connection. That can happen now. If you're on a union timeline and you're committed to that union timeline and you're committed to deepening that connection, to opening up more and more and being receptive to how your divine counterpart is showing up now, even if you've been blocked, even if there's no communication, come on, there's always communication. We know that. Then I highly encourage you to grab one of the links in the description in this video, because there's a lot of different ways that you can work with me where I can be the facilitator for this co-creative process for your accelerated evolution. There's, first of all, book a free strategy call and you receive a free informational video as a result. That's just grab that link. There's also a one-off active assistant session where I guarantee you I will get you to connect in a way that you will likely experience a spontaneous purge. It's that powerful, that powerful. Third option is that one-on-one coaching. I'm accepting 4 more clients at this point, one-on-one laser focus, like I said, highly intuitively guided. Tools, techniques, divine insight. We co-create this and that just accelerates your ability to evolve and move forward and to connect more deeply. And of course, to heal that inner masculine and whatever else needs to be healed. There's also a few other programs that I've got going on. So I encourage you to take a look, connect. Like I said, like, share, comment, subscribe, and let's support each other on this path. Love you so much. Peace. Have a beautiful one. There it is. Heal that inner masculine so that you get that support for your beautiful, sweet, divine feminine energy. Peace. There it is.